Hello, man here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 on the 36X Spring Creek map. Since last episode, been busy harvesting here. We are almost done with this field. I don't remember what the field number is here. We are field 388. And yes, again, everyone, you heard me correctly. Field 388. I don't know why. Every time I say these field numbers, I'm just like, oh my goodness. I mean, we're up on the 388 fields. Like, wow. That is insane. Anyway, combine is full at the moment. I'm like, why is the grain cart not unloading? Let me go check the grain cart over here. Oh, grain cart's full. Ah, okay. Go check the trucks. Ah, truck's full. And I would presume, I haven't checked the other, where's the other truck? Ah, over there. I presume the other truck is full as well. So, looks like we better go unload the trucks here. I didn't even notice that. Last time I checked the trucks here, like, they were barely nothing even in them. So, like, oh, okay. I didn't think these trucks would be this full already. But anyway, we'll go unload these trucks here in a minute. And then I've got the other combine and grain cart over on the other field. I haven't started them yet. I'm going to figure we'd save that here for this episode. So once we're done unloading the trucks, I might even take one of the trucks over there too. We'll see what's here. So, like I said, there's not that much more to go on this field. I think we'll need both trucks over here. We'll see once though. Oh, and I should mention too, everyone, money-wise. Wow. Yeah, wow, everyone. Like, we burned through, like, and I don't remember exactly how much we had last episode. We were somewhere around the 400,000, right? We burned through $400,000 between this episode and last episode. And I forgot to check. Hopefully he's done, right? Because if he's not, I think you're actually done over here. All that money, I believe, was for the herbicide here on field 383, by the way. Yeah, killing all the weeds over here. That was a bit brutal, everyone. That See and Spray sprayer might have paid for itself here. Between episodes, I don't know, because wow, 400,000. Keep in mind, I was using a hired worker, right? But still, oh my goodness, $400,000 just to spray that field. I was getting to the point, like, boy, am I going to have to take out a loan here? We have no loan at the moment, by the way. We're no loan. Money you have is what you see here at the moment. So it was like, oh boy, I'm going to have to take out a loan just so we can finish that field. But I believe he is finished, so we should be good here, hopefully. Now, with that being said, I still need some money for hired workers on combines and stuff, but I'm not sure how much course play and grain carts and all that stuff costs to run here. I don't think it's that bad, but we are going to make some money here. Again, with this map, I'm playing a little bit different than I typically play. I am, for the most part, just straight up selling our crop. Yes, I know. Am I selling it at the best price? Absolutely not. But we got so much of it that I'm just straight up selling it. Basically skipping an entire operation, so to speak. Would it be better for us to store our crops and then sell them at the best price? If you're making lots of money, absolutely. Because, yeah, we're probably leaving a lot of money on the table here. If we check this here. Oh, I don't have any in storage, so it's not going to tell me at the one. I have to go to oats. Show price fluctuations. We should technically be selling this in December, everyone. We're selling, what month are we in? Oh, we're month of July. So we're like, it doesn't get any worse. This is by far the absolute worst time to sell oats. This is absolutely horrible of them. But we're just straight up selling. Again, keep in mind, we got so much coming in that we are, how much, what's the price difference? Oh, it's actually not that bad. We're 48 versus 68. So, an extra 20 bucks a bushel. I think that's what that's in, right? Bushel, I would assume that is bushel price, that one. Wonder if Courseplay will realize when I drive this truck near the field. Or am I going to have to start it back up and go unload that grain cart here? Go unload the other truck here as well. Fortunately, we're not too far from the farm, so it doesn't take us too long to drive over here. The way I had this, I had one truck kind of parked over here, and the other truck, guys, you've seen parked back there as well. Okay, shut that off. Again, I don't know. Oh, he is on the move. Okay, cool. So that means Courseplay is probably actively looking for available areas to dump grain, which reminds me, we want to get into some mother bins here at some point as well. I don't know, maybe we won't do it for this harvest. For one thing, we need the money to afford one. Which, hopefully after we're done harvesting the oats, we probably can. But then, yes, we can maybe look at purchasing a mother bin here for later on in the harvest here. We should have wheat to harvest here. I think, is this the wheat field? Yes, wheat field, right? Yep. So probably, I'm assuming we skip one more day, but then we have, I think, 2 fields of wheat. I think that's what we have, if I remember correctly. Was it 385 and 387? I think those are our wheat fields. We got kind of a little bit of everything planted here at this point. Should really look at maybe getting some better trucks here at some point. I'm just using the in-game trucks here at this point. Problem with trucks, I don't know if you folks have noticed this as well, but obviously there is a large selection of semi-trucks available. However, everyone, of that large selection, like how many of them are actually like decent, right, everyone? That's what I've noticed. Like I've got some okay trucks as mods, everyone. I've also got some that are not so good either, and the reasons vary wildly on some of them. For one thing, I've got a really nice looking truck. Like, it's a really nice truck, but as you folks have heard, it is obnoxiously loud. Like, oh my goodness, the volume level on that truck is like, yeah. You folks have complained a few times about that. When I hop in that truck, started, I'm like, yeah, we can't hear nothing. Yeah, I know. It's, again, really nice truck, but that's why I don't like using that truck. It's obnoxiously loud. And I don't know why, but like the mod author turned up the volume by a factor of 10 on that mod for some reason compared to the rest of the in-game equipment. I mean, if you listen to most of the in-game equipment, most of it is somewhat evenly balanced, right? Like, this truck isn't much louder than the tractors aren't much louder than this truck. There's a few things that are maybe a little bit louder but or sound different, but generally speaking, everything's about the same volume level. That truck, oh my. And then of course, when you have the trucks that are just like full of air, it's like, oh my goodness, you open up your log and it's just like scrolling. It's like, oh boy, that can't be good. I don't like seeing trucks like that. And then of course, you got the trucks that are, what's going on? Oh, autosave. Locked up there. Autosave. At least I hope that, yeah, there we go. Yeah, autosave. A little bit brutal. I'm guessing that one, for those of you maybe have a little bit slower hard drives, the autosave is probably even more brutal, I would have to imagine. Or maybe if you're lucky and have actually even faster ones than I do, which I think they make some Gen 5 SSDs now, I'd like to say one. Those things are like just absolutely insane speed, right? I'd have to imagine then the autosave is probably even quicker yet. Now, I'll just leave the truck here for now, but we won't need the truck for a little bit on the other fields, so just in case we need it, I'll leave it here. Not a big deal, just to drive to the next field over. Also, I feel a little more comfortable in the money situation here now as well. But yeah, going back to the truck discussion too, Evan, then you have the trucks that are just like humongous file sizes. Like, a truck like this, that one looks okay. It's probably nothing too spectacular, right? But this particular truck is probably, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe 10 megs or something like that. Maybe 20. It's probably under 10 if I had to guess. It might even be under 5, everyone. Wouldn't surprise me if this is not a very complex mod. But then, yeah, like I said, you got the trucks out there like, 100, 400. Yeah, I've seen trucks like that. I'm like 400 megabytes. And you folks are going to tell me that's not going to lag your computer out? Oh, boy. Anyway, let's head over to, what number is field is this? Field 389. Oh, next field, 388, 389. Okay, cool. Start harvesting the next field here. See how far we can make it around the field here this episode. Wouldn't be too bad, I wouldn't think, because, fairly squarish field. Sort of. I mean, it's, what is this, a parallelogram, I think? Doing shapes here this episode, right? But I think this is considered a parallelogram, if I remember correctly. It's been a few years since I've done shapes in school, right? I remember correctly, on parallelogram, that's where the whole shape, you basically take like a rectangle and tip it, right? And then, of course, when you have, if I remember correctly, I think it's called the rhombus. The rhombus is where, again, you basically take like a rectangular shape, but then you just tilt one side instead of both sides. And, of course, on a parallelogram, I want to emphasize on the parallel part. All your sides are parallel, so each opposite side is parallel to each other. When it comes to, for those who are wondering, like job-wise, I can't say I use a whole lot of the shape stuff necessarily a whole lot. However, but triangles, we do use a lot of triangles, Evan. So for those of you maybe in school and like, is this triangle stuff worth anything? I would say absolutely it is, Evan. Depending on what kind of industry you get into, triangles are very important. Can't comment a whole lot on the other shapes so much, everyone. I mean, yeah, you got circle, square, all that good stuff, right? But kind of basic stuff there. You get into the triangles, that's where the math really starts getting fun, if you ask me. Or maybe not so much. The nice thing nowadays, everyone, as long as you understand the basic concepts of triangles and how to use all the various functions, there's all the calculators online that will actually do like all the complicated math for you. So as long as you know how to use it, then you can just, go online and use the triangle calculators. So, yeah, for anyone watching, if you're in school and wondering whether that triangle nonsense you're learning will be useful someday, probably depends what you're going to be going into, but I would say yes. In my case, it has been very, very useful. One. One of those things where it's like, what in the world am I ever going to use this for? Well, if you're into any sort of building, machining, CAD work, design work, basically anything that has anything to do with building anything of any sort, you're probably going to be using triangles. Anything to do with like measuring anything, yeah, you're going to be using triangles. There's probably a lot of us that have, a little bit to do with building, measuring something in some form. I suppose if you're in like healthcare or something like that, you're probably not going to be doing much of measuring and building anything there necessarily. But again, triangles, very important. So again, learn your triangles, Evan. If you're still in school, very important. Just if you ask me anyway. And again, going back to, if you're wondering if it's worth learning all that triangle nonsense, well, I was just like you back when I was in school as well. But like, what in the world are we learning all this triangle nonsense for? What will I ever use this for? Well, surprisingly, I use a lot of it. And when I say triangle, I'm talking like trigonometry and all that good stuff, right? Good stuff to learn there, if you ask me. We are, light is on. We are 80% full already. Out of curiosity, we should check our yield map here too. See how we're yielding on not just this field, but the other field as well. Again, if you remember, last harvest time, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on doing the initial fertilizing and liming. Again, just like a little pro tip there. If you ever like buy a brand new field, a lot of times it doesn't come fertilized or limed. So if you take the time to lime it, which I didn't do, or fertilize it, which I didn't do last time either. I know, breaking my own rules, right? Terrible. But yeah, if you take the time to do it, you can sometimes, and the reason I say sometimes, because it doesn't always work, but you can usually, if it works, greatly increase your yield. It's a little pro tip here if you're maybe a little bit newer to this game, or maybe you've been playing a while and just you're not familiar with all the game mechanics here. One of the single best things you can do to increase your yield is fertilizer. Skip everything else, put down fertilizer. That is the single greatest contributor to your yield. Okay, yeah, we're like halfway around the field already. Wow. Amazing how quick you can get around a field when you don't have an odd-shaped field, or A little bit smaller field in this case too, I guess, right? I've got the other grain cart here, by the way. And then I've got our New Holland T9 645 here on this grain cart. Again, a tracked machine. Again, I'm not putting any of our larger dualed machines on the grain carts. I'm just trying to keep them as narrow as possible here for unloading. As we mentioned here last episode, I had the 45-foot draper heads. Unfortunately, with the combine we have, everyone, that 45-foot draper head is simply just too big for those combines. Not that the combine can't run it, but the pipe is not long enough to unload with a 45-foot draper head on it, everyone. Now, mind you, of course, I can make it work, everyone, but hired workers and course play auto drive cannot. Oh, do we be a bad boy here and just unload on the wrong side of one? What do you folks think? We'll be one of those people? Yeah, we'll be one of those people. Just a reminder while we're unloading, everyone, if you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, don't forget to do so. Always very much appreciated. And of course, if you like the video, everyone, give her the old thumbs up there as well. If you want to check this map out as well, links for this map are down below in the description here of this video. Keep in mind, again, everyone, this is a 36X map. PC only, too, by the way. In case that's not clear, everyone. This is a PC only map. And you might want to just keep in mind, like I said, 36X map. So if your computer's a little on the lighter side, you're welcome to try it, of course, but just keep in mind it might not be the best. With that being said, I've had some really good reports on this map so far. I know some of you folks saying you have, a little bit on the lighter side as far as computers go. You don't have the most powerful computers, and it sounds like this map is decently playable. So, if you want to play on this map and you're not sure if your computer can handle it, the worst you can do is try it. That being said, are there better maps to play on? Probably, to be honest. This map is not the most detailed. Just large areas of grass like this. Okay. Now, in real life, looking at this map here, probably a wet spot, I'm guessing, everyone. Hard to tell from the this obviously a satellite image, everyone, so hard to tell from that, but I'm guessing a wet spot there. And it looks like, too, from the map, there's probably some additional fields here, too. Looking at here, this looks like this might be an entire field here. Obviously, the map authored didn't take the time. Probably a lot of this has to do with the fact that this is a 36X map, everyone. At some point, it's like, oh boy, got to release the map, right? I'm curious how long it took the map author just to get to this point on this map. Also, the first 36X map I've ever seen as well, one. I know in the past I've often wondered if you could do 36X maps. Obviously, you can do 1X, 4X, 16X. It's like, well, after 16X is the next size up 64, or can you? So apparently you can do a 36X. Although with that being said, there's definitely some glitches here. I'm curious if some of those glitches have to do with the fact that this is a 36X map and you actually can't do 36X. I don't know. I'd have to go play on the 60X one just to see how that map plays. We might have to do that at some point. I'm just to try it, right? I've had a couple of viewers say they are trying that map, the 64X map. The name escapes me at the moment for that map, but don't forget, too, if you'd like to join us in on the RDAllen multiplayer servers, Multiplayer information is down below in the description here of this video. We do ask that you please join us in on Teamspeak. Again, the RDAllen Teamspeak server information is down below. Oh, that being said, let's head over to the comment section in a moment. See what you folks had to say here for last episode. Oh, and before we do that, I just got to notice, we're almost all the way around the field here. Like, what did it take us, 10 minutes to get around the field? I find that impressive, everyone. Just, again, given the size of this map and how long it takes typically just to, make an outline on the field. Not too shabby. Oh, and that's right, we're going to check the yield map here, too. We'll get to this corner, and we'll stop and check the yield map here in a minute. Then we'll head over to the comments section. As a reminder, always enjoy reading all you folks' comments. So if you have something to say, leave, throw it down below. I do my best to read all the comments. And as I said before, definitely enjoy reading all you folks' comments as well. Okay, yield map real quick here. So looking at yields, got some weird data going on field 383 there. I'm not sure what's up with that one. Anyway, wow, look at that, 388. We got a really nice yield going on that field. I mean, that's in the, 125 and 100 and... Oh, what are we looking at? 115? 120? Oh, so 125 and 120% area plus probably 95? Okay, and then there's 100 and some 95 in there as well. So, yeah, we're not done harvesting yet, but looks like we're looking pretty good on this field here, too. I'm betting we're going to see some 125 section up here, everyone. And then the rest of this is probably going to be in that 100 to 95, I bet. Okay, GPS, you're up. We're going to do 0 degrees. Auto with that. Hopefully that's over far enough here. Anyway, to the comments section, everyone. Petro was saying, good video. Thank you very much for that. Keith was saying, isn't the John Deere called the 4-tracks? They're 4-track tractors. Yeah, I guess they do refer to them as that as well. They're 2-track versus their 4-track tractors. So yes, that'd be another valid way of calling a John Deere tractor. Christopher was saying, I'm first. Good video. Keep it up. Well, hey, congratulations on being first. And thanks for the comment as well. Mason was saying, I know of a combine with a longer auger. It's big, it's mean, and it's green. John Deere X9 1100 with a 50-foot flex draper head. Yes. Tempting. And here we sit with these little pathetic yellow machines, right? Interesting how New Holland, everyone, obviously their tractors are blue, like all their equipment is blue, but then their combines are yellow. Just an interesting observation there. Oh, then of course if you look at their hay equipment, everyone, at least in America anyway, their hay equipment is red with the yellow highlights, and it's blue, I guess, too, technically. But oh, we're not gonna be over far enough, are we? Oh, bummer. GPS realigned. Mason was also saying soybeans are considered a scavenger crop. They do fix the nitrogen on their root nodes, but if you want top yield, you still have to fertilize them. 35 bushel an acre does not pay the bills. The official name of the blue 4-track is Smart Tracks, which is also considered, or which is also a trademark, like quad track. He was saying you sure don't see many of those New Holland combines out in the field, do you? No, I can't say I've seen very many New Holland combines out in the field. That one, I don't know how common they are. I don't know. Maybe you folks watching can fill me in. Like, how often do you see New Holland combine out in the field? I've seen some of the older ones around, everyone. But yeah, as far as the newer ones, I don't think I've seen basically any of the newer ones hardly. Last time I seen a yellow New Holland combine that was, again, fairly new. I won. It was back when the farmer that was leasing my grandpa's field. I think they demoed one, I assume. They were trying it out. And from the looks of the wheat that came up after the harvest of that field, Evan, don't think that combine was doing real well, or they didn't have something dialed in properly. Because, yeah, once they finished harvesting that field, and a couple weeks later, it looks like they had completely reseeded that field at a much higher rate, too, I might add. Like, there was so much wheat coming up in that field, it was ridiculous. Like, I think someone didn't have something adjusted correctly, or maybe somebody forgot that step where you are supposed to, like, get out of the combine and, like, maybe check. Because that was a ridiculous amount of wheat coming up. There was definitely many bushels of wheat on the ground. And given the fact that it was definitely concentrated towards the center one, you know, that kind of fanned out from there, one can assume it probably was coming out of the back of the combine, so it probably wasn't header loss, for those of you wondering about that one, by the way. Like I said, the highest concentration was the center there, and then it fanned out from there. And again, that typically means, Evan, that your grain loss is coming out of the back of the combine. Dylan was asking, is this map on the console? No, it definitely is not available on the console. I don't know if there's a similar map that's available or not, but this one definitely is not available. Oh, everything going good on the other combine here yet? Double check to make sure we're still going over there. Nope, not that one. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah, we're definitely getting close to being done over here. I have one little triangle there, and then we got that little funky part of the field. Well, like I said, definitely plan on maybe doing some more plowing here after this next harvest. I want to straighten out some of these fields here just a little bit. As I've said, I'm sure in real life, Evan, there's reasons why some of these fields aren't, like, part of the field there, but in the game, like, probably a wet spot here, Evan. But yeah, there's no wet spot in the game, so like, just farm over it, and then make the course play courses. It'll generate much quicker that way, right? Field 386 is definitely a really bad contender at this point, Evan. That is probably the worst field I have at the moment for generating course play courses. Field 383, that is our really big field over here. That used to be the worst one I've won, but since I've smoothed it out at least a little bit, it is significantly better. And I think we can even improve that a little bit as well. Down along the bottom there, it's all jagged. Up the left side there, it's all jagged as well. A little bit of work on that field, I think, will go a long way. Farmer Johnson was saying, I told you about this map on a Twitch live stream. That could very well be. I don't remember who suggested this map here again. Actually, I think a couple people mentioned this map. And obviously, here we are, everyone. 20 episodes in. 20 episodes in at this point, everyone. And on to our second harvest here, finally. Our second year harvest. Oh, speaking of which, though, it is unfortunately time to wrap it up here for this episode. So on that note, if you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching. Until next time.